Okay, so I'm just going to film a quick little introduction on how I would go about starting to use the supplies that I've pulled out. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. I mean, I specifically chose 5 background pages for this kit to start with, and then I looked at those papers and looked at like what colors they were, what I noticed that they had in common, but I didn't go out like choosing those papers to match or anything. I chose them because I liked them for background papers, and then I chose other papers that would match with all of those. The only thing that I might do is pull in some more pink if I want it for this layout, because there's not a lot of pink in this collection of supplies. But to do that, I will go to my 6x6 paper pads. I won't go looking, or my scraps. I won't go looking for more full sheets of paper. I'll just use what I have lying around. For example, I have a scrap of, or a 6x6 paper in pink right beside me. So that might end up in here, but probably not because it's really hot pink. But it's just an example of something that I had right beside me. So I chose that I was going, or I decided that I was going to scrapbook this photo first with my supplies. Now, I'm going to put away the non-background papers, or just set them aside. And then I'm going to decide which background I want this photo to go with. Now, I'm going to eliminate the florals right away because this is my husband with a statue of like comic strip characters. This is, I forget his name. I'll have to look it up. Something Dan. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. I forget offhand. But anyways, I'll look it up. But I'm not going to scrapbook my husband with a male sculpture on floral paper walking around on the streets of Dundee. I'm also not going to use this gray, even though it's not a bad choice. I just don't want to put the concrete with gray. It's not my favorite thing. Now, what I can see from looking at the photo is that he is wearing a navy blue shirt with red stripes. This shirt shows up a lot in our travel album because it was cold in Scotland while we were there. So then I might look at that stripe and say like, okay, he has navy blue and red on. Well, my obvious choice would be to use this paper with the yellow and the plaid. And this is actually what paper I want to use with it. For no reason other than it's plaid, although this one is also plaid and I was tempted to use this with it. But I don't know, it wasn't a particularly sunny day. The photo is very like yellow already because of this building, and I don't really want to enhance that more. This photo, there's nothing wrong with it exactly, other than I wanted to use a plaid. So that's what I'm going to do. I wanted to use the plaid because it has navy blue in it and yellow, and I can either use this side or this side depending on what I feel like. This is more of a traditional tartan with the like set on the angle, or this is also tartan type pattern. But it probably took me longer to explain to you how I came about choosing this background for this photo than it did for me to actually choose this background. When I saw this photo and I saw he had navy blue on, and there's a little bit of navy in this sign on the building back here, I knew that I wanted to use the plaid with the navy on it. So that's what I'm going to do for this layout. I'm going to put you on fast forward now and take you through making the rest of this layout. Hi everyone, I'm trying something a little bit new today with my video editing, and I hope it works out okay. So what I did was I filmed like an intro on my channel, or on the video, before starting the voiceover. So hopefully it works. This is definitely something new for me. I just thought it would be easier to tell you what I was doing as I was doing it rather than trying to describe it after the fact. So this is a layout that I made using my what did I call it? Make your own kit or kits made at home or something like that. That I made, and that video will be up the day before this video. So it should already be up on my channel with any kind of luck. YouTube hasn't been cooperating the greatest lately, so hopefully it will work out well. So for this layout, I decided that since I didn't really know what was in the kit yet, that I would just do something very simple. I'm just going to mat the photo on a couple layers of pattern paper and one sheet of black cardstock in the middle. I do that sometimes to separate out colors or just, you know, just to give it a little something extra without really adding a lot more pattern. The background paper of this layout is busy. It's a plaid. However, this picture was taken in Scotland, and I think in that album, I'm not sure. I've been to Scotland a couple times, and in one of my Scotland albums, there's a lot of plaid. It might be that album. I'm not positive. I would have to go look, and they're not close to me right now, so I can't. I did ink all the edges with archival ink in watering can. You can use any kind of dye ink to ink the edges. That is just a color that I like as an alternative to black. It is not quite as harsh as black. I've heard that the Ranger Distress ink in, oh goodness, it's a gray one. It was one of the last releases from the new colors that they released. I completely forgot what it's called. It is a gray ink though, and I've heard that it's not as harsh. So I'm using this 3x4 cut apart card as my title piece for this layout. I really didn't know what I wanted to call this layout. I probably could have called it something in relation to the characters in the photos, but to be honest, I can't remember their names. I'm going to have to look them up. I know that they're like a cartoon comic character, but I can't remember. So I wanted to put something below the photos to make it not just stuck in the middle of the page, like to give it something to rest. So I found this branding strip that was in navy. It has flowers on it with the red and the yellow, which just happened to be what this layout, you know, it turned out with a lot of red and yellow on it. So I'm going to also add some of these cut apart shapes from Nicole Jones 911. You can purchase those on her website. I did purchase all of them myself, and I printed them off at home. So I am going to cut those out, but then I'm going to also look for some labels, and eventually I will stop cutting them out on camera and I will just go turn the camera off and do it off camera. Oh, sorry, I hit the button on my microphone. I couldn't figure out why there was no sound in my ears anymore. I bumped the, there's a mute button on my microphone, and I bumped it by accident. I was like, why isn't it working anymore? But yeah. This quarantine I think has made my brain stop working, honestly. I think I need to like do some brain games or like puzzles or something, because my brain is just not processing information anymore. So I did just stop filming there while I cut those out, and then while I searched for some embellishments, because I did not pull embellishments for this kit. Sometimes I will pull embellishments to work with, but most of the time I don't, and I just do it on a page-by-page basis and see what I feel like putting on the page. I did put this photo over to the right hand side of the page because the statue, the bronze statue in the background, is walking towards the left in the photo. So I wanted to make sure that that movement was going in the right direction for my layout. So I did cut out 3 labels, also can be purchased from Nicole Jones 911's website store. They are in a navy, the ones that I cut out, but there are several colors that you can choose from if you don't like navy. So here I'm just looking for some stickers and embellishment. Oh, sorry. Stickers and embellishments to add into my layout or my embellishment clusters. I am going to use some stickers from Vicky Bouton's, one of her older collections. I think it might be Color Kaleidoscope, but I'm not positive. It could be Wildflower and Honey. I honestly, I don't know. And I'm just tucking the pieces into the different layers around the photo just to give it a little bit, you know, something a little extra and just, you know, make it have some interest. It's, like I said, this layout isn't, you know, I didn't try to, you know, rework anything or come up with any kind of brilliant design concept. I just did what I like. When I work with single photos, I like to do this. I like to make a diagonal line of embellishments across the page through the photo. And in this case, it goes through the photo and through the title. Sorry, my mouth was very dry. So I did add some yellow down at the bottom with an arrow, which will also help your eye go around the page. And then I'm going to sprinkle these little butterflies. I don't know if I put 2 or 3 on. I can't see my layout from here. I think I only put 2 on because there was only 2 on the paper and I had already popped up that cheese word phrase there. And here I'm looking for something else that has that yellowy cream color that I can add in to the middle grouping, because I didn't have any of that cream. Like, it's kind of like an antique linen type color if you know the Distress ink colorings. So now I'm just popping down the rest of that title card, and I am going to put journaling on this. I actually haven't done it yet because I haven't looked up what those statues are. So I have to do that, so I don't do it on camera. I'm just going over the letters, which is like the title card, with some Nouveau glitter pen in clear. And then I realized, like, oh, there's no actual glitter coming out. And then eventually I just stopped trying to outline the letters and I just color with glitter. Yeah, there we go. I just scribble some glitter down. And it works so much better that way. And then I take my journaling pen and I'm just going to outline this card. And if you would like to do this, I strongly recommend that you do it before you adhere foam squares to the back. It wasn't the easiest thing. I mean, it worked, but it wasn't easy. And then I'm going to add some enamel dots into the groupings. I think about adding glitter enamel dots, but I put glitter on the title and I didn't really want to take away from the title card. So I just use solid colored enamel dots instead in 3 different colors, in a light aqua, a light yellow, and then a red color to bring some more of that red in. And then I believe that's all I do for this layout. I don't think I add anything else. I am going to add journaling on that card there, and I will continue it down onto the label, and then I'll put the date up on the top. Oh, I do add some gold, Heidi Swap Gold Mist, and you'll see that I cover my photo. That's because if you watched one of my last videos, I got a big drop of gold color shine right on my photo. I learned my lesson. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with another layout using this kit, and I will see you then. Bye.